walls are tumbling, your pretty plastic world is crumbling, crumbling. Turn up the stereo, this is the end now. These bastards are your only friends now. Whoa, whoa.
I'm Brandon. I'm in the Architects. Entertained on tour is you'd be surprised how much entertainment actually just finds you. Like, we could go looking for entertainment, I guess, but it seems to be more fun to just wait for, like, you know, for the weird drunk guy to find you, just the nature of being on tour and playing rock shows is like silly shit happens, and so there's a lot of entertainment just in the weird people that you meet. Other than that, a phone with a data plan is a good idea, because you can't really do enough Facebook or Tetris or whatever. That's kind of what I got. Filthy jokes. Filthy jokes help. It depends on where we are. Like, you know, in Canada, you're just sort of screwed. You're going to eat Wendy's or Tim Hortons every day. Like you know, if you're in the Southwest, you'll probably be at In-N-Out as much as possible. If you're in Texas or Oklahoma, you're going to go to Taco Cabana because it's like amazing. Is there Taco Cabana in Denver now? Okay, well, it's spreading out a little bit, but Taco Cabana is like all-night Taco Bell with beer. And it's better than Taco Bell. The food is better. And then if somebody has a birthday or there's a day off or something, then we'll go to like a Japanese steakhouse. That one is really consistent, like even maybe more consistent than Wendy's. Like if somebody's having a birthday on the road, then it's like, oh, okay, we gotta go to the Japanese steakhouse. That's just a lot of fun. The guy flips the shrimp in your mouth. I don't know. I've never really done it any other way. Like I know other bands. It seems to me that other bands fight more than we do. I mean, we certainly have dumb fights or whatever, because you're stuck in like a little box on a highway, smelling everybody's feet and bad breath and with everybody's stupid habits, listening to half of everybody's phone calls, you know, all the annoying crap that will get on their nerves on tour. You have fights and stuff, but our fights are really not like other bands that don't have brothers have way worse fights than we do. When we fight, we like. If you were watching us fight from outside, you would have no idea what the hell we were fighting about, because it's usually something really stupid like that. It's never really a big deal, never too serious. I don't know what it's like otherwise. Like, I mean, I don't know, it might be a little bit more stressful, because like, you know, when we're in whack situations like we were last night, where there's just like snow and ice and sleet and 45-mile-an-hour switchbacks through the mountains and antelope and semis and all that, you know, and you're staring death in the face. You know, it's a little bit, you know, I take it a little bit more seriously, because it's like, well, I'm not going to kill my little brothers. I have to drive really, really well so that I don't kill my two brothers, you know, or so that I don't die and they, you know, leave my two brothers to sort out my possessions. Or whatever. But I don't know, I don't have any other frame of reference really. Like, I've only ever really done this with my brothers. So far it's awesome. Like I have no complaints. Like the routing is like the drives and everything is like a little bit brutal. so far, but I think it's going to smooth out and get a little easier like tomorrow. It's been really fun. I really couldn't ask for better people to be on tour with. Like, My Chemical Romance has gone way above and beyond the call of duty to like to be cool and gracious and generous and welcoming with us, and that's pretty awesome. Not every band does that, so there's an album that I could call it new. It could be new to you. I don't know what to say about it. It's our album. It's good. We every so often we scrape together enough money to go into the recording studio and record as many songs as we possibly can in as short amount of time as possible, and that usually turns out to be our album. And the one we got is called The Hard Way, and it's real good. It's got some good tunes, real catchy. Next record, I think the next record's already shaping up to be catchier and better and more fun. Just gotta go home and scrape together some money and make a record now. I like Aaron a lot. Aaron's a cool guy, and it's fun working with a guy who's not all like Aaron doesn't do a whole hell of a lot of rock and roll or a whole lot of metal or punk or whatever. Like he pretty much his life has been working for like Eazy-E and Bone Thugs and Harmony and Nate Dogg and
he always recorded Cher too.
Yeah, I mean he's got like this like crazy resume of people that he's worked with. Like I've seen the master tapes of like Montel Jordan. This is how we do it. Like he has the master tapes. He engineered. It's like what? It says producer Puffy Combs. And I'm like what? It's cool working with him for that reason, because like we can like he doesn't have any like rock stories. He has like R&B and hip hop stories, and we have all the rock stories. And so when we're hanging out making the record, just swapping stories about gnarly shit that happened in the studio or gnarly shit that happened on tour or whatever. Like his stories are pretty awesome because they're about like Old Dirty Bastard and Eazy and stuff, that's cool. It's nice to hear. That's a hard one. Like we have some obvious classic rock influences like AC/DC and The Who. Like can't really shake those. Every Architects record always sounds just a little tiny bit like AC/DC and The Who. Like just a little tiny bit. And other stuff, like I know, like Rancid and Social Distortion figure pretty heavily in there, and then there's all the stuff that there's a ton of stuff that's like a huge influence that like I can't talk about because if people knew that I loved it, they'd throw rocks at my band, and I'm not gonna let that happen. But stuff like Annie Lennox. I don't know what else influence-wise is really major. Like everybody, we all kind of have our own private musical passions and we bring it together and end up sounding like we sound. I don't know what to say.
It's a hard question.
Yeah, it is, because like I'm old now. I don't feel as influenced as I used to when I was a kid and we were on tour. Like if you said who are your influences, I would have been like fucking Tim Armstrong, and it would have been like an emphatic answer, and you would have seen me get on stage and do my little like Tim Armstrong impersonation or whatever. And it's not quite the same anymore. It's like I'm older and I don't really imitate anybody. Not really. Like I do a Tim Armstrong move every now and then, or I have like a Freddie Mercury moment, or a Bon Scott thing that I rip off. But it's all kind of a gumbo now. It's hard to say. There's still there's still like people to look up to, but I will say that having done this for a while, that like we've found that the people that we look up to the most tend to be the most disappointing when we actually meet them. It's like, oh wow, it's kind of a dig. Like I have this fear. Like I'll explain. I have this paralyzing fear of meeting Tom Petty. Like, I love Tom Petty. Like there isn't a bad Tom Petty record. You know, every Tom Petty record is great. I've seen Tom Petty like 10 times. I'm terrified to meet him because statistically he should be a dick when I meet him. Like if I met Tom Petty and he was a jerk, I would be so bummed out. like oh God, come on, dude. Like please don't be a dick. Yeah, I can't do that shit again. I can't meet another famous person and that would be a bummer. It's terrible. What else could I say? Don't get in cars with weirdos. It's okay to eat fast food, but not every day. You don't have to like all vegetables, but you should find one or two that you do like. And pick, you know, and even no matter how punk you are, like find a hobby that gets you out in the fresh air, you know, like fishing or something. Doesn't matter how punk you are. You know, look at me. I'm a punk, and I go fishing or hiking or something. Get out in the fresh air. Don't eat too much fast food. Eat some vegetables. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. You know, don't start smoking, and if you started, stop. No, just look for us on Dorkbook or Nerdspace or Twitter or whatever, and we'll let you know as soon as we know something. And hopefully we know something soon.